All right, so I don't know about you guys, but I have my Chrysler Aspen, and the radio on there, the factory radio that's on there, just doesn't look right anymore. Doesn't play right. It basically freezes, maybe 10, 20 seconds after you turn the vehicle on. So I'm definitely going to replace it. What I decided to replace it with would be the radios that they make for like Aspen 300s, those Android radios. Let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so that's the original radio that's on there. It definitely doesn't work. I'd have to replace it with another one if I want to keep it. But my options of what I want to do is add this particular radio screen in there. Since no one has made one that fits in this exact Aspen, I'm going to use this one and do some cutting, Bondo work, and kind of get it placed in there. So I have two options. One is to sit it where it's not flush, where this piece right here, the screen, kind of sticks out a little bit, or to go ahead and cut it all the way to make it flush. Easiest way is to have that little lip stick out, and I'll look at that first. That way I can keep the wood grain. If not, if I have to make it flush, then I may have to just paint this entire trim piece silver or gray. Just kind of. All right, so these are, first thing is I did purchase another trim piece, just like a donor, just kind of make sure if I mess it up I still have a decent one that I can use. And these are some of the things I may need. I do have some of the Bondo short strand, and then I also have the glazing putty and spot putty. Of course, something kind of spread it out. And just if I do need this fiberglass for the back side, just in case if the Bondo is just not strong enough, then I'll use the fiberglass on the back side and use some of that as well to make it stronger. But I want to try it without it first. I'm going to be using a Dremel, just a little Dremel, and then cutting bits to try to, kind of get what I need. So that's pretty much it. Straight edges. All right. All right. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this out completely, because I know this can come out. It has 4 screws, and so I'm going to go ahead and remove the screen. Then I'm going to cut out the bezel and then see how that fits first. So now that I kind of have the easiest way kind of mocked up, I'm going to see about trimming this piece out and then see what it would look like to bondo this insert and putting it inside there. So let's kind of cut this apart a little bit, just kind of see if I would maybe like it a little bit better. I think it'll be a nice, that way I don't have to bondo anything to the screen to this bezel directly. It'll be inside this little insert. That way if I ever need to take it apart, I can pull it out of this piece. If I need to replace it, I can just buy that screen by itself without this entire bezel. Because they are still selling those separately. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this apart now. For this, I think I'm gonna actually put on some safety glasses just in case. If it would have dried out like I wanted it to, I would have been ready to bondo the front. But this resin didn't do right. Maybe I didn't put enough hardener. Maybe I had the resin too long. I've had it for a while. I don't know. Alright, so here's the dongle that came with the wireless, or should I say steering wheel controls, little cup deal that I have. So all I did on that to get it connected, since I know this particular module that came with the radio is not going to work for my car, I went ahead and bought my own wireless control. You'll see. So here's the power. I went ahead and just powered it to the harness for the red for the power, and then also the black for the ground. So I connected to the harness, and then the other piece was the data cable, which is the white, and that went to the key 1 slot off of the harness that came with the radio. Okay, and I did test it. It did work. I just want to kind of see that connection before I tape everything up. And that's it. So I'll put this together, and once the other parts come in for the radio itself, I'll go ahead and kind of put everything together. But it did work. So since I wasn't able to try to figure out exactly how to wire up the keyless controls myself without a module, I just went ahead and did it this way. That way at least I know it's done and I don't have to think about it anymore. I think I'm probably the only one that really uses the key, or what should I say, the steering wheel controls. So that's all that matters. I use it and it works. All right, so we are going to redo this cut that I did on the bezel. I do have another one that came in, and I'm going to show you the mistakes that I made on the first one, and then we're going to do much better on the second one, or the final one. All right, so as you can see, let's see if you can see that. All right, so first thing I want to make sure I don't do again is cut this too deep right there. That's messed up, and not bad over here, but I can definitely do better. And you see how there's glue, or the what is it, the epoxy, the resin is also kind of got on here because I did too much. So that's something I don't like. The rest of it was okay because I would have been able to bond with that and kind of seal it. And hopefully I don't have to try to sand the next one. So I won't make that mistake and then have to paint it all over again. And definitely this is going to be the cut for the bottom. So the plan for the new one is going to be, I'm going to cut the line right here. I'm going to leave that line alone because it is a straight edge. That way I can keep the definitions on this flap, you know, where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to cut more of this, and I'm going to cut a little bit more on the outsides to get it to fit. But I'm going to leave this line alone, so that's less that I have to repair, because this will be a straight edge, and then this can kind of look the way I want it to look. So pretty much it'll sit in there like that, and then I just need to cut this down low. It's kind of weird how much I had to cut to get it down low, but I'll get to it. I'm sure it's going to be about the same, if just a little bit more. But just the angle of it makes it seem like it should be up here somewhere. But yeah. But that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna work on getting that cut right. I'm gonna do some of the same, you know, cuts using my little ruler here with some tape to give me straight lines. But at least I know what not to do. So yeah, let's set you up and then I'll get it going. All right, so here's the cut. So fit in there pretty good. Hopefully the AC controller gets in there nice. Yeah, it should, because this is actually the square. I was worried about it, AC being up here, but it's actually way down here. So we're fine. All right, so what we're gonna do now is do some Bondo work. So the first thing I'll do is just sand just the edges, just to kind of make sure that they're a little bit rough. Clean it off a little bit. The first time I did the resin work, not Bondo, but the resin work, I did not put enough hardener in the actual resin. So what you're supposed to do is for every 1 ounce, you're supposed to do 10 drops. I did not do that. My first bezel felt like rubber, so pretty much just fell apart. But that's one of the reasons why I had to kind of do a whole new thing. But I did do a test with the 30 ounces and the 3 ounces and 30 drops, and it's solid. So that's pretty much what I want now that I know what I'm supposed to do. Oh, another thing that I noticed real quick, something I noticed was with the different bezels that I have, it does fit. Both of them do fit inside the truck really good, like they're supposed to. But there's a difference in the bezel sizes as far as like the wood grain. If you notice, like this bottom piece is a lot larger. Right here, it's larger, and then this piece right here, it's actually slimmer. And that's most likely the reason why I had more room, so I don't have to worry about the AC control. So that was actually a benefit. So I noticed that, and I went ahead and tested it in the truck just to make sure that it does actually fit, and it does. So there's something to look out for. All right, so this is 3 ounces. It actually went up a little bit, but it's 3 ounces. So what I think I'm gonna do is 3 ounces is a lot. I'm gonna do 2 ounces. So that's kind of what I got going on. Just all the way around. And that's going to be solid. The only part I'm worried about is to make sure it doesn't. I did press that in real nice and tight, so it shouldn't leak through. But all right. So real quick, it's been about an hour. What I want to do is add the actual fiber screen mesh, and then add some more resin to make it even stronger. That way I know that it's not going to break down on me. So I'm going to work on doing that, and then we'll let it dry for another 2 hours, and then we'll take the tape off and sand and move forward. All right, so we've dried since the last pour. We drive probably about like an hour. So we need another hour before it actually finishes. But what I want to do is at least remove the tape from the back side, the front side, since that was already on there for 2 hours already, so that should be fine. But I'm not going to sand it until maybe another hour when it should be sandable. Okay, so that's fine. And this is kind of high right here too, just a little bit. But I'm sure once I kind of have everything sanded a little bit, I might just bring that down a little bit. I want to see what it looks like with the radio back in there to see if it makes a difference. The other reason why I want to pull the tape off a little bit early, because I got this right here, and I can probably pull that out now that it's not fully dry. Let's try that. Yeah, I can pull that out. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to put some of the Bondo on there.